How DaBaby became the most hated rapper ever. Well, if you want to consider Kanye West a rapper, that's not necessarily true. But okay, let's watch it.
DaBaby has slowly become the internet's most hated rapper. What did he do to earn this title? Well, his actions range from insulting fans to getting angry at flight attendants. However, the very first thing that began to turn DaBaby's audience against him was the time he'd get into a beef with kids YouTuber JoJo Siwa. The argument began after DaBaby would post a song titled Beatbox Freestyle, in which he'd hold up a photo of JoJo Siwa and call her a bunch of nasty names. The snippet was instantly shared to Twitter, where it gained over 1 million views and 42,000 likes on a post reading, "What TF did JoJo Siwa do that made DaBaby mad like that?"
What the fuck?
While some joked about DaBaby calling her out over a height insecurity, most were simply baffled that DaBaby would target a kid's YouTuber. She's literally a child, kinda out of line to be honest.
Wait, so what did he say? I'm actually really curious, like what the fuck did he say? Watch it? Okay, yeah, I want to find out what this is. Okay, beatbox freestyle. Yeah, let me find this. Okay. This is probably it. All right, where is it in the video? I'm going to just go through here. Yep, there it is. All right, here we go.
Nigga, turn me up, niggas gon' see why, nigga, you a bitch. JoJo see why, bitch. Let the wrong nigga get rich. Both of these chains on my neck, they compete with each other. They fighting and throwing a fit. Know how these hoes like to argue and beef with each other. She fight now over the dick. You should already know you ain't searching the baby, cause that nigga like.
So he just called her a bitch. I mean, it's kind of unnecessary, you know? Yeah, why?
Child, kinda out of line to be honest. Yo, that is funny AF, he really came for a whole kid, which accompanied a post by James Charles reading, "Can someone please explain why DaBaby is dissing JoJo Siwa when she's 12 years younger, 10 times richer, and 2 inches taller than him?" Now, DaBaby had absolutely no business in responding to these comments, as they weren't really even criticism. A lot of the responses were supportive.
No, they're not criticism at all. They're just talking shit, same as he was.
Such as, "I don't think he meant nothing of it, probably just needed something to say," and the others were simply surprised that DaBaby went there, which is literally how DaBaby described his own branding.
I'm gonna say, I can't believe he said that.
However, despite also stating that he wasn't the type of guy to respond to things online,
when it's said outside of music and I'm expected to respond and clear it up without using music, that ain't what I do.
he'd still take to Twitter to squash the drama in a post reading, "At It's JoJo Siwa, my 3-year-old princess is your #1 fan. I bought her every product you have out. She thinks she you. Don't let him trick you into thinking I'd ever have a problem with you. My wordplay just went over their heads. All love on my end, shorty. Keep shining."
I think this is totally fine if you have like a prior rapport with the person. So like, for example, if her and DaBaby knew each other and this is like established, then it wouldn't really be a big deal. However, just to randomly come out and talk shit about someone, this isn't really wordplay. I mean, it didn't go over anybody's head. It's not like everybody understood what he was saying. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, like there's nothing to understand. He's using her name to rhyme, Lamal, that's all. Yeah, that's it. But like, that doesn't still like, using her name to rhyme, yes, sure. Like, it might mean, and I don't think he actually has like some sort of like real resentment towards her. Now, maybe we're only, you know, a couple minutes into the video, so this could not be true. But I can say like maybe he doesn't actually have any resentment towards her, and he's just doing this because he's farming. You know, he's just trying to come up with something that rhymes together, right? That's all there is to it. Totally okay. Well, not totally okay, but a lot less worse. But that's still bad. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's still bad, but it's not a big deal.
Now, DaBaby's response was actually pretty decent, but since he never needed to respond in the first place, all it did was show everyone that he was paying attention to the drama and was unable to stay silent if he was criticized too heavily. In the lead up to this tweet, DaBaby had established a reputation as a kind of hardcore gangster rapper, and to be on Twitter justifying why he made a diss on a kids YouTuber felt kind of inauthentic to his image. DaBaby stated
I mean, you're not a gangster if you're apologizing to like a kids YouTuber. That's just the facts. I mean, like, no gangster is gonna go and apologize to a kid's YouTuber.
Interview that he's doing his own thing and is not really caught up in any of the internet drama.
I'm just doing me, like I'm not even really caught up in what I got going on.
Yet in a different interview, he contradicts this by stating that he's willing to change his opinions if the internet criticism becomes too harsh.
It's about how much you value others' opinions on the internet, or just, you know, people's opinion around you. I don't value it until they get to messing with my money. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. You know, now you probably need to take heed to that, you know, make some adjustments.
While this is certainly a more mature approach, maturity is rarely what people are looking for in music and entertainment.
Nah, bro, like, they just want to see some funny shit. Like, nobody gives a fuck anyway. Like, you make fun of some kid's YouTuber, call her a bitch. Like, who cares? Make another song. If the song's good, that's all that matters. Like, that's it. Everything else is all just fucking, like, that's noise. Noise, noise, noise.
Be wrong about this, but it often feels as though the personality of the person making the music is just as important as the music itself, and when it comes to hardcore rap, people want to follow the completely unapologetic gangster as opposed to the person who's known for responding to criticism on Twitter.
Oh, absolutely. Like, as I said, responding to a kid's YouTuber on Twitter, this is not a certified hood classic. This is not real gangsta shit. This is being a bitch. It is. And that's the reason. Yeah, it's like you do something that contradicts what your image is.
This point feeds perfectly into his response to the Rolling Loud controversy, which happened only 4 months after the incident with JoJo Siwa. Whilst on stage, DaBaby would imply that people with HIV weren't welcome at his shows, and since the event was being streamed online, the internet began to discuss the comments immediately. Now, as mentioned in other videos, if DaBaby had simply stayed silent on the criticism, the problem would have disappeared. However, just like the JoJo Siwa controversy, he felt the need to clarify his position with a public statement.
Never talk about it. Like, if you do something bad and everybody's mad at you, you just don't talk about it. That's the solution. This works pretty much every single fucking time. Yeah, never apologize, never address it. You just keep doing it.
Address this one time, and I'm gonna get back to giving my love to my fans. See what I'm saying? Because what me and my fans do at the live show, it don't concern you. It's not y'all business. What I do at a live show is for the audience at the live show. It'll never translate correctly to somebody looking at a little 5-6 second clip on their phone. It just don't work like that.
This Instagram live...
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But, like, again, you think Tupac would get on Twitter to say sorry? That's a good question. Well, number one, I bet Tupac could never fucking do that because he's a better rapper and he wouldn't need to throw some random fucking person under the bus just to rhyme. So Tupac would have never fucking done this in the first place. That's the truth. He would have never had to apologize.
Stream only led to more people discovering what he had said, and shortly thereafter celebrities such as Elton John, Madonna and Dua Lipa were stating on Instagram that they were surprised and horrified at DaBaby's comments. DaBaby stated that he wasn't worried at any point during the Rolling Loud controversy.
Were you kind of scared, like how everyone was like trying to cancel you and shit like that?
Nah, I wasn't scared. That was probably my problem.
However, this is a complete contradiction to his actions, because if he wasn't scared, he wouldn't feel the need to take to Twitter and apologize, which is what he would do after the Instagram live stream. I want to apologize.
Yeah, you can kill somebody and you just, like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, you go out and you shoot someone and it doesn't matter. But, like, you don't want to break character and start going and apologizing and shit. Yeah, that's the truth. He's a fake gangster. Yeah, he's selling the idea of being a gangster. And you can't go and do that whenever you're apologizing to people constantly for things that you say whenever you're acting like a gangster. That's it. He did shoot someone. So if he shot somebody, think about this, okay? Doesn't this prove it? The fact that, like, DaBaby, people were fine with him, right? He's like, yeah, some people didn't like him. Maybe he didn't like his music, whatever. But, like, he didn't get canceled for killing somebody. He got canceled for apologizing on Twitter. I think that says a lot.
The LGBTQ+ community for the hurtful and triggering comments I made. Again, I apologize for my misinformed comments about HIV/AIDS, and I know education on this is important. Going back to the problem of authenticity, DaBaby would go on to state that he didn't even agree with his own apology.
Even though, you know, I don't agree with it, you feel me? Like, you know, if
and that's what's so weird, right? Is because, like, you can't put out an apology and then right after the fact be like, oh, well, I mean, like, I don't really think that, you know, I just told them what they want to hear. Yeah, I think that's what it is. He still has 25 million monthly listeners. Clearly nobody gives a fuck. Well, it depends on, like, where he was at compared to where he is, you know? Like, that's it. Must be a stat. Yeah. Bro, has two personalities? Nah, it's not that. He probably has, like, some PR person or somebody who tells him that, like, oh, you have to say this or whatever, and then he says it even though he doesn't believe it, which is always a mistake. It's always a bad idea to start saying and talking about shit you don't believe. Nobody can live a lie forever.
It's the example that got to be made.
Yeah, you can't flip-flop like
for whatever reason, let's do it. I'm with it.
And that he only put it out because at a certain level, you have to move in a different way.
You get to certain levels in it, you know, you got to make adjustments, you know what I'm saying, and move a certain way. It's simple, you know.
Ironically, he's talking to Charlemagne, who wrote a book on how living an authentic life is the quickest path to success, which is something that DaBaby himself highlighted as the reason behind why he's been so successful.
What makes you different?
Nah, man, I'm
like,
just
why do you
me,
have that drive?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just me.
Yet going back on his own statements and posting insincere apologies was the opposite to being his authentic, brutal rapper image.
As a rapper, somebody
Let me read this real quick.
Was the opposite to being his authentic, brutal rapper image.
Social media moves so fast, people want to demolish you before you even have the opportunity to grow, educate, and learn from your mistakes. Man who's had to make his own way from very difficult circumstances, having people I know publicly working against me, knowing what I needed was education on these topics and guidance has been challenging. I appreciate the many people who have come to me with kindness, reached out to me privately to offer wisdom, education, and resources, and that's what I needed, and it was received. I mean, who cares? Yeah, I don't get it.
As a rapper, somebody who can speak freely and
that's
I'm not wanting to do all that hard work day in, day out, make all these sacrifices, get there just to be controlled like a puppet, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't how I get out.
Now, it didn't seem like DaBaby actually had any problems with the people he called out.
Anybody from the LGBTQ community, any of that, bro, I am not tripping on y'all. I ain't never had an issue with none of y'all. It wasn't directed to no group of people in particular and nothing like that. Like, it really ain't that deep at all to me.
However, because he blew the whole...
I mean, can we also just admit that there's been a lot of hip-hop songs over the years that have had a lot of really negative shit about gay people? So it's not like this isn't, like, this is, yeah, I mean, like the Hood song does, like, for sure. Yeah, where the Hood at? Yeah, like, this is a super common thing. So, like, I would assume a lot of people, like, the reason why that's in the music is because people fucking agree with it. So then whenever he goes and he starts apologizing, they're going to be like, well, what the fuck?
Up with a bunch of his own social media attention, the brands he was working with began to drop him one by one. Fashion brand Boohoo publicly ended their relationship with him. Lollapalooza dropped him from the lineup on the very last day of the festival, citing their founding values of diversity, inclusivity, respect, and love. The Governor's Ball Music Festival, set to take place in September, announced that DaBaby would not be performing as part of their lineup. UK event Parklife cut him from the roster, though the rapper's team claims that the decision was made months before Rolling Loud. The team behind Day and Night Vegas replaced his set list with that of Roddy Ricch. Even the Working Families Party quickly removed him from the list of celebrity performers, and on the Full Send podcast, DaBaby explained that he was set to release his own meal at Burger King, which was also cancelled as a result of the controversy.
I have my own meal at Burger King. A lot of people don't know that. It was called the Jonathan Kirk meal. They wanted to use my name. I shot a commercial for it and everything. They had my name on the box, everything.
Did it come out?
No, that's when all the controversy.
In a different interview, DaBaby gave a dollar figure for how much his comments had cost him.
I had $30 million worth of shows on the schedule before December 31st. I was finna buy my private plane, but it is what it is. It go how it go. You know, God ain't want me to have my plane yet. He's like, hold on, man, just chill.
And while
so it's like, I think it would be fine if he'd said what he said and he stuck by it and he said, fuck this, I don't need any of that shit. I'm gonna just keep making music the way I want. Nobody's gonna tell me what to say. Like, he could have gone with that and it would have been fine. He would have not made as much money maybe at the first, but I think that, yeah, it's God's fault. Yeah, again, it's God's fault, exactly. You can see a sadness in his eyes. Well, obviously, like, nobody wants to have that shit happen to you. Like, nobody wants to have that. It makes sense. He's a pussy, not a gangster, maybe? I don't know.
DaBaby clearly took the loss in a very respectable manner. This seemingly did little to repair his reputation, as after being invited back to Rolling Loud 6 months later, the crowd threw drinks at him. However, the worst part about the controversy was, from that point onwards, DaBaby was berated on Twitter for almost anything he'd do.
Yeah.
For example, people brought up the time where he'd attack a fan at a club for putting a flashlight in his face, resulting in another apology video.
I do sincerely apologize.
Bro, why? You shouldn't. If somebody's putting a flashlight up in your fucking face trying to agitate you like that, you punch them in the face, that's fine with me. You don't invade people's personal space. You learn to stay the fuck away from somebody. Hell yeah. Yeah, fuck around and find out.
I couldn't see you.
Accompanying another bizarre clip of him being rejected whilst trying to kiss a fan, which also warranted some kind of strange Instagram response to the event.
And he just kept making mistake after
That's
mistake
weird.
after mistake.
That's real weird. Oh, that's weird.
There was also the time where he'd make what seemed to be a satirical tweet stating that he was voting for Kanye, which warranted response.
Y'all me messed up if you... Damn. Yo, like that is... Ooh. Man, that is just... I mean, this was 2 years ago, right? But, I mean, damn. That's a bad call.
Responses such as, "Waste, I can't believe you're even promoting this. Baby, you got too big of a platform to be tweeting this nonsense. Bruh, you're not even eligible to vote," which accompanied a different, more recent video where he'd get angry at a flight attendant for not combing her hair.
We gonna pay all that for that flight, you gonna comb your head. Straight up, they nah, dog. We gonna pay all that. You gonna comb your head, the least you could do.
This is probably part of the reason why DaBaby believes that social media can become a negative thing once you reach a certain size.
That's some...
Well, to me, I feel like this guy's just an asshole. Like, yeah, I feel like he's just an asshole. Like, that's... It's not like... The thing is, like, Kanye West is an asshole, but, like, up until, like, this recent shit, it was kind of entertaining. But, like, this part, like, it's not really entertaining with him saying this shit. He's just a dick. Yeah, he just a straight up fucking asshole. Like, goddamn. He's funny, like, I mean, funny, like, in what way? Like, it would be funny to me if he didn't apologize for it, maybe a little bit. But like, if he's going, like, is it really funny if he goes and he acts like an asshole, then he goes and he apologizes and he says he's not sorry? Like, bro, that's some pussy shit. Like, it's not funny. Like, it's funny to laugh at, but it's not funny to laugh with him with it. It's just fucking stupid.
Point, I think like it may be safer for you not to use it as much because you can become overexposed.
But the real question is, how has this affected the performance of his music?
That's the question.
Well, his latest album released in September 2022, which was titled Baby on Baby 2, sold only 16,000 units in its first week, which is 87% less than Baby on Baby 1, which sold 124,000 units in its first week. The music video for
87% less? That's really, really bad. Holy shit. Nobody buys albums anymore? Well, I mean, they didn't buy albums whenever he brought out his first album, too, to be fair.
one of the songs on his new album titled Boogeyman features 5 different people, one of which being an obviously gay person, and throughout the video everyone is killed besides the gay guy, before DaBaby daps him up at the end, says "I ain't got a problem with you," and once again apologizes for the rolling loud comments. The whole thing just feels extremely performative and insincere, with this clear attempt at avoiding controversy only resulting in more controversy. Because alongside his
oh my fucking god, like, what is it? Like, it's just so weird. Like, do you think he lost it all because of his actions or because he flip-flopped? Well, let's think about that. How many rappers do we know that are openly homophobic? I think I could probably name half a dozen, like right off the rip. And especially if we talk about a lot of the older rappers that are well-liked, have had openly homophobic lyrics, etc. Are any of them canceled because of this? No. Because the people that listen to them, that's the truth, a lot of them agree. He got canceled because he acted like a bitch, he engaged with drama, and he flip-flopped back and forth. That's why he got canceled. That's why people stopped buying his albums. And also, there's an important factor with this as well. Maybe the album sucked. I mean, that could happen too. It was not a good album.
New album's poor release, DaBaby announced that he had to cancel one of his shows after selling only 500 tickets to a venue which seated 14,000.
What's this here? Responds as show was canceled after selling less than 500 tickets. Ooh, that is bad.
One of his shows after selling only 500 tickets to a venue which seated 14,000. Going to a DaBaby concert because I need some alone time and I know no one else will be there. If I put all my followers in a room and sang a little song to them, then I'd have a more successful concert than DaBaby. DaBaby concert was lit. However, to DaBaby's credit, he's taken his setbacks quite humbly, having replied to his lower album sales by stating, "Not bad for the blackballed baby."
Yeah. It's God's fault. It's gay people's fault. It's the people that are blackballing them's fault. It's everybody. It's social media's fault, bro. Like, it's everybody is out to get him. Everybody's out to get him. Like, I'm going to say, like, I've never really listened to his music, so I can't really make a judgment on whether his music is good or not. But I think that probably is a factor, too. Like, if the music or the album, the future follow-up albums aren't as good, then that's a big problem. That's bigger than any of this other controversy shit.
There are a lot of people who we've covered in the past that are clearly deserving of their poor reputations, but you could argue that DaBaby isn't really one of them. He's a hard worker with a library of incredibly well-made music, yet he's been unable to keep his mouth closed on controversial topics, which only compounds when you compromise your integrity and change your personality to suit whatever the audience wants you to be.
And that's really what it is. It's that he goes and he's the dumbest. I kind of want to watch that. I don't know if I'll have time for that, but goddamn. I think let me look it up. Let me look right now, and we'll see how many. DaBaby. Look the guy up. Okay, so I mean 3 million. 1 million. Let's see what people say about this most recent video. We're not going to watch it. We're just going to read the comments. When he kicked away from it, he stays consistent, stays on his brand. His attempt at different beat, never changes style. I think most people are being pretty positive about this. It's like just... like you've got to just keep your head down and keep making content. Like, that's it. He wasn't canceled or blackballed. His music just sounds the same. He can only make the same song so many times. It's just, he makes good stuff. He'll be fine. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not a fan of the flipping back and forth, and I don't really. This is like a general opinion that I have, and like I listen to plenty of rap and like music like this too, so I'm not really completely innocent in this. But it's like having this lifestyle and promoting a lifestyle of like violence and disliking gay people and just like in general, very self-destructive behavior. Not too good. Yeah, he's definitely a dumbass whenever it comes to PR. SunnyV2 is a little bitch. He needs to be canceled. Really? You think so? Why? What don't you like about him? Let's see. Okay, we'll read this one, and then I'll watch the lottery one. Then after that, we have to finish the Kanye West stuff. So that's it. Let's see right real quick. I don't know what any of this shit is. Okay, let's move on to music is assigned to a bitch. This is next level cancel culture on God. I don't think so. Like, I really don't think so. I don't think it's necessarily cancel culture. There are some times whenever people listen to what you're saying and they're like, well, I don't like it. It's not a problem if you just go and say, like, listen, I don't like what this guy is saying. That's not an issue. Let me link you guys a video. The Sunny videos are always really good. We can watch the lottery one, but I'll watch the fucking, what's it called? The Genshin one. I'll watch the Genshin one. The only thing I don't like is the idea of a man making content off the downfall of others, but it's not illegal. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, Sunny does have some positive videos, but it is true that the majority of his videos are negative. Like, if you go and you look at his channel, and this is not necessarily a criticism, it's just true. Negative, 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 I would say negative, negative, this is, I don't know, worst reputation, negative. Yeah, a lot of the videos are negative for sure. And that's just because a lot of that stuff, like, you can cash in on the people that don't like them. And everybody slows down to watch a car crash, okay?